Last one here. As Australians have started to move from cash to card, all went pretty bunter during COVID. And despite the fact that there are some places that say we won't accept cash, they have to. It's a legal tender. Bob Catter made that point in and around the cafe at Parliament House. But according to the Reserve Bank, this is the slide off between the amount of money we used to spend on buying things with cash versus the amount with cards. You can see here that debit cards are used over the top of credit cards. Well, I've been trying to work on this for a long time, but somebody's beaten me to the punch about just how much money banks are currently making out of tap and go fees. Now, the tap and go thing is the way that many people decide to pay for things, but there's a little detail here which is the difference between you paying a fee, a big fee, or potentially no fee, and it's which type of card that you decide to bip or whether you insert or swipe. I'll explain. Australians lose nearly $1 billion a year in card surcharges. $1 billion in tap and go. Now, the analysis comes from the Reserve Bank via the ABC here, and it reveals that Australians are losing $960 million a year in surcharges when they pay with their card instead of using cash. Now, again, if the government was interested in doing anything, may I suggest that the Liberal Party perhaps even suggests this? Let's follow what happens in the UK. Unlike in the UK and the European Union, where car surcharges are banned, retailers in Australia are allowed to recoup their payment costs through surcharging, making their customers, as long as they're not making a profit out of it. You can charge a customer, but you just don't make a profit out of it. Well, perhaps these fees should be shut down. Now, if they say that there is a fee for you to use your card to take money out of an ATM, I don't buy that, but still, that's their fee. The idea that there's a fee to use your card to buy things that you would have previously bought in cash is a major change in our behaviour from when maybe those surcharges were there when it wasn't the majority of transactions that were happening in Australia. Another point here. If you've got one of those debit cards that also says Visa or MasterCard on it, which is helpful when you go and buy things on the internet, it could be costing you extra when you tap and go. Let me explain. Most debit cards, which is the most frequently used payment method in Australia, are dual network cards. It means if they have a MasterCard or Visa logo on the front and an EFTPOS logo on the back, if you insert or swipe your card at the terminal, you can choose the option. If you tap your card, the transaction automatically is charged as if it was a credit card. So, put simply, if you would like to avoid these fees or push them down as low as possible, any opportunity you have to take money out of your real bank account as opposed to a sort of faux credit card that is being topped up by your debit card, if you've got an EFTPOS card, pay for it with the EFTPOS card, not with the debit card. But if you have the debit card, rather than tap and go, insert it, choose savings, and you will save money. In the meantime, the government could, of course, just rule these fees out of order if they want to, because, you know, they're doing everything about cost of living, aren't they?